3, 2, 1, fire!
What's good, everybody? This is EQ from La Familia Music Group, and we bring to you the What's Dope in the Slow podcast. And on this episode, I know it's been a while, but I have my boy, he's an entrepreneur, he's an artist, he's a jewelry designer, he does all types of stuff, comedy, I can go on for days. But we actually shot this video already, but, there were some difficulties, so we're here again. So, Benny Boom, I appreciate you for being here and being patient with me, man.
I know how it is, big bro. I know how it is. But we're back.
That's right. We're back. Here we are, man. You're looking good, man. That shirt's nice, man.
Right?
Yeah, man. That's good. That's good.
Right. It's all right.
You're shining. You're blinged up. I got my Benny Boom piece right here, too.
Yes, you do. I like it. You wear it everywhere, man.
Oh,
it's
man,
in the videos and everything, man.
Everything, man. Dude,
that piece is famous.
That's right, man. As you know, it came from some creative hands, so I get compliments on it all the time, man, and it's just like Benny Boom. Benny Boom.
All you gotta do is just tell them to hit me up, man.
That's
Boompresents.net. You could hit me up on Instagram at B3NNY_BOOM. So you can hit me up on Instagram. You can hit me up on Facebook. If you just look up Benny Boom, Grand Junction, my logo is black and white. You can talk to me like I ain't a stranger.
That's right.
I ain't a stranger to danger either, baby. So.
Ew. No, man, that's what's up, man. But you've been working, man. You had a couple comedy shows. I know you've been working a lot this year, man.
Yeah.
So can we touch about what you've been working on this year and what you have coming up, or any of your plans?
Well, this year I've been doing a lot more comedy. I haven't really been doing a lot of comedy up until like the last year, I guess. But I love comedy because it's a way. So people out there probably might not know, but I used to do rap music, right? And I had my group, the 800 Villains, and we did a lot of really cool music. I had some dope artists and beat makers, and we had so much fun, and we had a lot of success. We made a lot of bread.
Nice.
But with the difference between comedy and rap and music, probably in a lot of ways, is the fact that with comedy you could really get into the fabric of experience, society, culture, politics, where in music it's more open for interpretation.
Right. Okay.
But with comedy, it's like you tell them exactly what you're thinking, and then they take it or leave it.
That's right. Yep.
So comedy is more of a challenge to me than music, and I enjoy comedy probably more than I enjoy music because of that fact. Because you really get down to the nitty gritty of what your mind is, where your mind is at that during that joke or during that bit. You know what I mean? So you can really tap into that. So comedy is different than music. Definitely. And another thing about comedy is that I love is the fact that it's never the same. With music, you drop the beat, you know your first few words, you go on with your verse, you do the hook, do the bridge, you kind of already whatever. It's all set up.
Right.
Every song is almost always the same. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And but with comedy, it's never the same. With comedy, it's you can't tell the joke the same way twice.
There you go. Okay.
And that's what I love about it. And sometimes you might tell the same joke and do a little bit different, and it bombs.
Okay.
And then you do it another way, and then it hits.
Right.
So it's like, okay, timing, my attitude, what was my how did I present this joke?
Right,
what was my posture? What was my facial expression? Mm-hmm. What was the energy behind that joke? And it's just so much more dynamic when it comes to comedy. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love hip hop. I love rap music, but it's different, man. And it's more of a challenge, dude. It's harder. Comedy's harder than music, 100%.
Oh, man, I could definitely see that, and, we're talking about the outline, we compared it to music. Is there a certain outline when you talk comedy or when you're doing a show, or is there a way that you like to approach it as far as start off softer and then hit them with the harder jokes later on, kind of warm people up, or is there?
That's a good question. My mentor, Jimmy Abeda, and like these tutorial. I did an interview with him,
Yeah.
and they're kind of like tutorials for comics. It's on Boom Presents. If you look up Boom Presents, one word on YouTube, you'll find Jimmy Obrigado on there. But one of the things that he did tell me was start with short, funny jokes early.
Okay.
Because the crowd, when you go up there, they don't know who you are.
Right.
If you go in with the long old story, they're going to be like, oh, man, get this guy out of here.
Yeah.
But you got to hit them with some funny jokes early.
Okay.
And you have to demonstrate that you're funny.
Right.
Once you demonstrate that you're funny and you demonstrate that you can tell a joke and be funny,
Right.
then later on in the set, you can experiment a little bit, and they'll buy. You already won them.
Right.
They're already convinced that you're funny. This dude's funny. All right.
They're feeling
all right.
good. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, he's
Right.
going to a story now. All right.
Right.
This is going to be good. This is going to be good. Right.
That's what they're thinking. Right.
So you have to start off with some short, funny jokes early, and then that gives you license later in the set to do some more political jokes, maybe some blue jokes, which are dirty jokes for
blue
people out there.
jokes. Is
Blue.
that what you call them?
They call them blue.
That's right.
And so it gives you license.
Okay.
If you start off,
Yeah.
if you start off nice, then like, oh, this dude's funny.
Right.
Okay,
You
all
loosen
right.
them up.
Yeah.
Like you prepare them. Like, okay. I'll give
Bring
this
it.
guy a pass.
Bring it.
Yeah,
and then,
that's right.
And then
right.
you might tell a joke that's not that good, and they'll be like, oh,
Right,
shit.
okay.
Okay.
They'll
all
brush
right.
that off.
Yeah,
right,
yeah,
right,
yeah.
right. No, that's what's up, man. Because I mean, I've definitely been to a couple of your comedy shows, and it's man, I have a good time, man.
Yeah.
And I'm big into comedy, like I love Dave Chappelle, and all those type of you can consider maybe more of the I'm not too into comedy, but as far as like they tell some pretty I don't know what the right word is, maybe aggressive or like hard or dark jokes,
Dark jokes, aggressive jokes, social commentary.
Okay.
That's really what Chappelle's. If you're really into Chappelle, like he is so like, he's a social. He discusses what's happening and then puts it, and then shares it from his mind, right? So social commentary is always great, and even if it's just like experiential, like Bill Burr is is kind of cut from the same cloth, where he'll tell you like what bothers him about the world. He'll go on these rants about crazy drivers that don't know how to drive, and millennials that don't know how to pay attention, and this and this and this and this and this, and you're just like, okay, so he's giving you what's on his mind.
Yeah, from his perspective.
And that's
right.
what Chappelle is brilliant at, being able to commentate on what's going on in society and make you think. Okay. And I think that's what has been kind of a drawback for him. What is the fact that the LGBTQ community is like,
they're not really feeling that.
Well,
right.
some of you'd be surprised, because a lot of them are like, you know what, he's because he loves the LGBTQ community,
right?
He does. And the thing is like, it's the people who are allies who are really against Chappelle, because they're like, that seems insensitive. But if you ask somebody in the community, they'll be like, dude, he's just telling you how it is.
Right.
That's what comedy is.
Right.
Right. Like if they say Mexican jokes or Chicano jokes, it was like, he's not lying.
Right. Like,
you know what I mean?
Especially when you go to a comedy show, you're going in there for a reason. You're going there to laugh, to get jokes, and like it's not serious to a certain extent, or it's not. You just having a good time, right? So like, I don't go to a comedy show. I mean, I've been to many comedy shows, and they say stuff about Mexicans.
Right.
I laugh with the crowd.
Right.
Because
it's true.
It's true.
That's the thing about that. That's like
right.
stereotypes. Stereotypes wouldn't be funny if they didn't have some degree of truthness to them.
Right. Right.
So that's what makes them funny, and that's what makes them real, and that's what makes them relatable, and that's why these great comics that are sometimes being chastised, that's what they do, is they show the mirror to society and say, this is what you look like.
Right.
And if you don't like what that looks like, then that's really on you. That's not on the comic. That's on you.
That's not, you're right.
Right? And that's what good comedy is, in my opinion. Yeah,
that's
for
what's
real.
up, man. So, I mean, I know you do a lot of things, and one of them is comedy, as we're talking about. Who's your favorite comedian, or your top comedians, or you mentioned Jimmy Obrigado, which is a comedian you look up to, right? Or that's taught you quite a bit.
Jimmy's a one-liner. He tells these short jokes, and they're always funny. Like, he can just get a room just rolling with laughter, because he does these short jokes, where Chappelle is a storyteller.
Right.
So he'll tell a story, and he has there's these funny aspects into these stories, and he uses all the elements of comedy to keep you and to make you laugh throughout the story.
Right.
So those are two different types of comedy: is storytelling and one-liners. One of the most famous, and he's a true one-liner, is Mitch Hedberg.
Okay.
You see the dude? Wears the glasses, blonde hair, white dude. I'll send you some links.
Okay, yeah,
dude.
send me some links.
Mitch Hedberg. Find him on YouTube. Rest in peace. Shout out to Mitch Hedberg's soul.
Ew,
he's one of the most dopest one-liner comics. Mitch Hedberg. You'll find him Hedgberg. Mitch, and you'll find him on YouTube. He's hilarious.
Oh, I'm gonna have to check it out, man.
But my favorite comic. I don't know if I have a favorite comic. I would probably say that I really enjoy Brian Regan. He's clean, super funny dude. He's gonna be at the Avalon in like October or November. I went and saw him last year at the Avalon.
Okay,
he's dope. He's a A-list,
all right,
top-notch comic. Brian Regan, Regan, and so he's one of my favorites. And Bill Burr, is another. I saw him at Red Rocks last October, and his Red Rocks special is on Netflix, dude.
Really? That's
so you
dope,
can see
man.
the Netflix. And while I was there, this guy was heckling him, and I was like, oh, this is gonna be on the special, and it was, dude. It was on the special. I was like, that's what's up, dude.
That's beautiful.
But Bill Burr's dope. But my favorite comic of all time, rest in peace, Patrice O'Neal. He pressed and he pushed the envelope of comedy, and he made a lot of pundits upset and a lot of people mad.
Okay.
But that's good comedy, makes you think, and it sparks your emotion. If like Brian Regan, he just makes you happy, and then, he's doing great comedy, but a real good comic is putting in work.
Right.
On society, and that's like Chappelle, and that's Patrice, and that's Bill Burr in a lot of ways, because he'll really like say what it is. Watch the Bill Burrs on Netflix at Red Rocks. It was wonderful. I was there. You'll see it. You got to be there with it. You got to see it. You'll see what he's talking about. He says how it is. It's real comedy. These guys are OGs, man.
No, that's awesome, man. And
I'm passionate about it. I'm passionate about everything I do.
That's good, right? You should be, man.
Yeah.
I think passion has a lot to do with, I think maybe the way you execute things too. It's like, I mean, I look up to you, man, because one, you've been doing this for a while. I'm considered more of a fresh, younger guy that's getting into the game. I mean, I've been doing it, but not like you, right?
Right.
And you just been, the way you move, man. It's like I look up to you, man. And like the way you not only help others, but like the things you're doing, man. Just as far as like not only your jewelry and your art, but also like things in the community. Can you touch a little bit on that?
Well, yeah, definitely. I think so. So I have this like philosophy, and it's kind of this thing
That's right.
it's about abundance.
Okay.
Right. So when you live with abundance, and you come from this place as I have so much, then it makes it easy to share, and it makes it easy to give, and it makes it easy to present.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I don't know how like the universe works, but somehow it brings that back to you. It brings it back to you. So the more that you give, the more that you get.
Right.
And it just, there's no way around it. You can't sidestep that. It's the same way as if you're a rotten person and you're doing rotten things all the time, that will come back to you.
Right.
There's no way around it.
Right.
There's no way around it. So if you live in this place where it's like I am just a giver, I'm a sharer, you know what I mean, and that's where I'm at. Like that's where I'm at, man. That's where I'm at in my evolution as a human being.
That's dope, man.
Yeah, and it wasn't always that way.
Okay.
It wasn't always that way. I came from some pretty dark places, but
okay.
That's a long story, dude.
Right. What made you make that change, or like to like? Obviously, you're saying it's a long story, but just, keep it brief. You come from a dark background or a dark past, you could say, right? I mean, I don't know the full story, but we can say that, right?
Right.
What made you break those cycles, or what made you changed the way you're thinking to kind of pursue that light?
Maturity, bro.
Okay.
It just happens with time. Some people get it, some people don't. I know 50-year-old guys that still act like they're 15.
Right.
You know what I mean? I know guys that are just don't get it and they never grow up.
Okay.
And I know people that are, if you have the mindset that you are a process, you are in process of creating yourself and developing yourself and the key to like longevity is reinvention.
Okay.
You have to constantly like reevaluate where you're at and where you were and where you want to be. It has to be a constant thing. It's not like one of those things that just like it fell in my lap. It didn't. You know what I mean? It took a lot of like self-reflection. It took a lot of like time with myself and be like, yo, like what am I doing? Like what am I trying to do? Like what's important to me and like what's gonna be my impact on the people around me and my family and like how how's that? I got nieces and nephews, you know what I mean? And it's like, they look up to me. Like, who do I want to be?
Right.
So all that, like all this love that I have for my family, and I love my family to death, it's like by thinking about them and reflecting on them and then reflecting on where I came from and where I'm going, it's like, dude, it gives me a pretty nice direction. It's like, okay, all right.
Right.
So it's one of those things. It's all work, man. We have to constantly work on ourselves.
Right.
We have to constantly reflect, and we can do it all in our own quiet time. In our own quiet time, laying in the bed, just like eyes closed, and be like, okay, where am I going? What's important to me? What is going down? Errors that I made. How could I have fixed that? How could I have not made that error? Who was in my life that caused me or put me in that position? Like, am I surrounding myself with the right types of energy? So we reflect on these types of things. It's all a process, you know. It's like we're always like looking to like improve ourselves. It's like, what can I do better next year? Like you said, right? What can I do better next year? Who do I need? How do I need to delegate better?
Right.
How do I need to like put trust in people better? How do I learn to let go of control better? How do I learn to like let other people shine, not just like think I can do it all myself?
Right.
And the more you ask yourself these crazy questions and these hard questions, you know, and then you force yourself to find solutions.
Right.
And whatever those solutions are to you, those are the solutions that you need to do.
Right.
You know that you have all the answers. We have all the answers inside of us. It's up to us to like shut up, sit back, take our lumps, and then rebound.
Right.
Resilience.
And I think that's the hard part is a lot of people don't, they get knocked down and they don't know how to bounce back.
Right.
Or, continue. But you're talking about self-growth, What are some of the things that you personally do to, improve your self-growth? And, do you read books? Do you, meditate? Do you...
I went through a stage in my life where I was just like hungry for knowledge.
Okay.
Where I was just like, all right, I need to be like more aware. I need to know more. So I had to read more. I had to think more. I had to watch more videos. The world is on the internet, right?
Right.
And I had to like, just like we were talking about earlier, you said you love biographies, right? So when you watch biographies of great people, you see tendencies. Right. You see these things that are always the same in all these great people. They don't always make the best social decisions or interpersonal decisions. They're not perfect.
Right.
No one's
They're
perfect.
Human, yeah.
But you see the moves that they make and the way that they rebound and the way that they recovered and people have lost and then regained and done it again and again, and then they finally found their way. And if you watch and you're a student, if you're a student of people and you're a student of great people, then you're going to put yourself in an advantage. Right? You're going to put yourself in an advantage. And then one of the things, too, is being open-minded and not being, like, boneheaded about taking guidance.
Right. That's a good point right there, yep.
Yeah, we used to call it cabezudo.
Cabezudo, that's right.
So you can't be boneheaded.
That's right.
You have to be like, all right,
yeah.
I'm humble. I will humble myself to take this guidance. Even though at the moment, and it depends on where you are in your evolution, but sometimes it's really hard just to be like, I'm wrong.
Right.
Sometimes it's hard to be wrong.
Yeah, but I mean,
or to admit it.
Right, but that's, you're talking about evolution. That's like, that's part of you growing as a person, is learning how to admit that, okay, I messed up, like it was my bad,
Definitely.
And learn from the mistakes, more importantly,
For real.
But yeah, man.
We all make mistakes, man. We all make mistakes, so we all have to learn from them.
That's
and
right.
Bouncing back, dude. That's the glory of your life, is how you bounce back from. It's easy to live in the sun.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to bounce back from the darkness.
Right.
And when you do that, the more you do that, the more gristled you get, the more stronger you get, the more you become like a warrior. You know what I mean? Then you become somebody who can teach.
Okay. Yeah.
Right. That's down the road.
That's down the word. That's in the next podcast.
Right.
That's right. But no, man, I appreciate you for sponsoring the podcast, man. You help out a lot. Benny Boom Presents, boom.net. Is that where people can find you?
Boompresents.net.
Boompresents.net. Everybody go check it out. They can find your jewelry, your tickets to
comic shows that are coming up.
You can find everything.
I even have some music on there. So if you go onto boompresents.net, if you just click Benny Boom, I think it's just Boom. You can go onto my page. It talks a little bit about me, and then there's some music on there. You can click Boom TV. This is the big thing, dude. Is Boom TV, bro?
Boom TV.
My interview series.
It's YouTube, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you're on. You're on there. Boom.
That's right.
So Boom TV, but you have to look Boom Presents, one word, on YouTube.
There you go.
And it'll take you
BOOM Presents.
Yep. All one word. It's like I don't know how to use spaces. So it's Boom Presents,
right.
one word, on YouTube, and it'll take you right to my channel, and you can see EQ's interview and all the interviews that I've done of some great artists.
Yeah,
I see you're rocking.
Come on,
you're rocking the Peace Street Revival
This is
tie-dye
limited
shirt.
edition, man.
Dude.
Not even Kanye West has this.
Shout to Peace Street Revival. I've done several interviews with all of them, and we did a great interview with the whole band, which is always
dope.
kind of like
That's
weird
fun,
to do a whole band, because like
hard.
I'm really
Together.
into like the human story.
Okay,
but the
yeah.
whole band, they're just like, this is what we do, and this is his role and her role and her role, and this is how we kind of like go on the road, and this is what it feels like. And I was like, wow, this is different, because I'm a biography guy.
Right.
I like the story. I like the story of how people kind of, when they grow up and what brought them, and like what their history, and and then tap into like what makes them great at that moment,
That's right, man.
Doing bands I just did El Camino Burnout.
Okay.
El Camino Burnout. I haven't released it yet, but I just did that last weekend.
dope.
Today we got to tell them the date so they know when we're talking about. What is this?
This
September.
September 15th.
September 15th.
This podcast will be out in a couple days, so
that soon? Don't work
that
yourself
soon.
you gotta play with your babies, man.
Oh, I mean, I just came
Don't
from a
work too
soccer
hard.
game, man. Man, my little man was out there working his butt off, man. He's, his first time in soccer, but man, he's good.
Is he
likes it.
competitive?
He's definitely got that from, his Mexican side.
Is he competitive?
Oh, but it's funny to see though, because like he's super sweet too. So like it was funny. He was going towards a goal, like full speed. Everyone was behind him, He was going, and the goalie was a little girl. So he stopped and just kind of tapped the ball, He could have kicked it,
I ain't hating on that. I ain't hating on that.
Oh no, it was the cutest thing, but it's like, all right, buddy.
He'll learn.
What I mean?
Give him some time. Yeah, give him some time.
Right.
That's good.
No, man,
That's
but
good.
it was, definitely gotta have the family time in there, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I appreciate you giving that gift to my wife, man. She's gonna love that, and I appreciate you for that, man. That's
presented
dope.
a pendant.
Yeah, it's right over there. Yeah,
it's right here. You probably can't see it. She's quite understated from what I understand. So it was a small turquoise piece from Cerrillos, New Mexico. Mm-hmm. This dude down there, he's an old man now, but when he was a kid, he lived in that little. It's like a village, dude.
Okay.
And there's this mine up on the side of the hill behind where he lives, and he would go up there with buckets and go get pieces of turquoise and come down and like shape them into stones and sell them at this little roadside shop.
Dope.
And now he's an old man, and he's an old man. He can't go up that hill anymore. But he talked to the county and said, "Can you allow me to build a little road up there so I can go up there with my buckets?" And they said, "Yeah." So he goes up there with his buckets, and these are unstabilized, organic, like straight up turquoise that you like. It hasn't been touched besides being shaped. There's no epoxies. There's no stabilization. And so this is like true to the Southwest right here, big bro, for your wife.
Oh man, I appreciate that. Man.
I know she don't like big things. I like big jewelry, but some people, not everybody likes big jewelry.
That's right.
You know?
Yeah, man, and that's more special, man, because like she's more of a natural type of person, which I love. You know, I love natural beauty. You know, so this being a natural organic stone makes it that much more, more special, you know what I mean? So man, that's dope, man. But talking about your jewelry, man, let's touch base on that. What got you into jewelry? How long have you been doing it? All that, man.
Man, I have not been doing jewelry that long at all.
Okay.
Probably 4 years. But dude, like I'm just blessed with ability when it comes to jewelry. Yeah, I'm just blessed with ability when it comes to jewelry. I told this story at another interview, and I don't like doing interviews, but my grandpa came to me after he passed away. He came to me in a dream, and he told me, he says, Hito, he's like, you need to work with your hands. My grandpa's from Taos.
Okay.
And that's where my people are from. I'm Apache. I'm
Apache.
Hell yeah.
That's right.
Apache, Spanish, and Irish.
Dope. Okay.
Which means I'm really fun to like party and drink with.
That's right.
And until I fucking kill you.
That's right.
But my grandpa came to me in my dream and he said, work with your hands. And he was like the worst carpenter I ever knew. And I was like, I don't think it means carpentry, man. I didn't know what the hell it meant. Work with your hands? Because I've always worked with my mind.
Right.
But when I got turned on to jewelry, Melanie Klein, my mentor, she lives here in Montrose. She's the founder of Uray Silversmiths in Uray,
they got some dope
and down here in
stuff,
Montrose, Uray Silversmiths. She's from the East Coast.
Okay.
She's a master, and she trained me in the old school ways with the old torches, and the old vices and the files and just the old ways.
That's dope.
I was trained in the old classic ways of silversmithing by her.
That's dope though.
Yeah. And I just like
you picked it up like that, man.
Yeah, and I told her in my last I took like 4 or 5, 6. I took 2 classes, but they were like each class was 5 or 6, four little classes. Mm-hmm. But at the end, I was just killing it, dude. I was killing it. I don't know how, but she told me at my last class, she says, "This is not the first time you ever did this."
Ew.
And I was like, what do you mean? She's like, "You've done this before." And I was like, "Oh man, I knew you were a witch."
That's right.
She was talking about my past lives.
That's right. That's crazy,
man.
man.
And I was like, dude, that kind of blew my mind a little bit because I respect her so much, and she is she's an ethereal type of chick. Mm-hmm. Like she is about like out there, you know.
Yep.
And I was like, dude, she knows what's up.
Yeah.
But it's true, man. Like I just picked it up so quick. And I got to tell you the story real quick about Peachtree. Okay. When I started doing jewelry, and I was like, I was already pretty good, but I was like, dude, I need to get better. I need to do my own thing. Yeah. So I bought all the stuff, and I went home, and I made my own little shop, and I did all my own things.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, I'm pretty good. How do I get big? Like, how do I get like people to know about me? And I just love Peachtree Revival. And I was like, dude, if I can, and I saw them live several times before I approached them. Okay. And I saw Gonzalez on stage, and I was like, dude, she needs something on her wrist. And then Jordan on her bass, and I was like, dude, like if she had something on her wrist, that would just be so shiny. Like they need that. Yeah. Like they need me.
That's right.
So I just made him some pieces. I made him I made him each bracelets.
Dope.
And I hit him up on Facebook. I said, hey, I made you guys bracelets. I've been posting it on Facebook. They were already my friends on Facebook.
Okay.
Not for too long, but they're like, yeah, we've seen that. We've seen your stuff. Yeah, you're dope. I said, I'd love to like give you guys some bracelets. Just give them to you. but I would like to present them to you guys on stage.
Ew.
And they're like, yeah.
Yeah, they were all about it.
So I was at Warehouse 65.
Dope.
For my first presentation. I brought a big old
Suitcase.
with a suitcase.
Yeah.
And I opened it to him, and Millie was with me, and we presented Jordan and Gonzalez with their first pieces.
That's dope.
They rocked them like that whole season, and I was like, yeah. And I started getting DMs.
Yeah, that's right.
And then I saw Charles Ray King,
Okay.
Soul Brother, a brother from Junction.
Yep,
I saw him
I
on
know
his
what you're talking
way
about,
out, and I saw him at Mesa Theater.
Okay.
And he was just singing. He was so badass, and his wrist was naked.
Ew. Yeah.
I said, dude, I need to make that dude a piece. Mm-hmm. So I made him a piece, and I hit him up on Facebook, and I said, dude, I want to present. I made this piece for you. I showed it to him. He was like, dude.
That's right.
I said, this is yours, but I need to present it to you on stage.
That's right.
And we found this place. We were on stage. Mm-hmm. It was at Mesa Theater, and I presented it to him on stage.
Dope.
And then after that, more DMs.
Yep.
Dude, I want a piece. Blah, blah, blah. Ryan Harrison from, at the time, NC-17s.
Okay,
Punk music.
Right.
So I got soul music. I did rock and roll, classic
roll.
American rock and roll. And then I had punk. And I just love Ryan Harrison. I went to a couple of his shows, and this is when he was going through a dark time in his life, but he was killing on stage, man.
Yeah.
He was like, yeah. I was like, dude, I need that guy.
Yeah.
I made him a razor blade 2-finger ring. Razor blade.
Wow.
Looked like a freaking razor blade, bro. Sterling silver, 100%.
Two fingers.
Underneath it said NC-17s.
That's dope.
I said, I got this ring for you. I saw him outside Mesa Theater. He was going to go have a cigarette. And I said, hey, can I talk to you for a minute? I said, you don't know me. My name's Benny, but you don't know me, but I want to make you a ring. Mm-hmm. Can I look at your hands? And he was just like,
what?
I said, no, I'm a jeweler. I'm a jewelry designer. And he's like, sure. Showed me his fingers. I kind of looked at his fingers. I was like, all right. I said, let me make you a ring. He's like, all right. I think he was all faded.
Yeah.
I hit him up about a month later. Your ring's done. Here's pictures of it. He's like, dude, that's the dopest shit I ever saw. I said, let me give you this ring, no charge, but let me present it to you on stage.
Man, look at you. Yep. That's right.
Bam, boy.
Yeah.
And then I don't know where I got those ideas, but I was just like, and I didn't get no money.
Your past life.
I didn't get no money, man. I didn't get no money. But in the end, I got so much. See, this is abundance. This is what we were talking about earlier, right? When you can give so much, something will always come back. Mm-hmm. If I would have punched him in his face and I would have slapped Gonzalez, I would have got that shit back.
Right.
Right?
Right.
But 100%. I gave him this, and I got it back.
Right.
It's just the way the universe works. We have to understand that. Once we understand that, then we will treat each other better.
Right. But also don't expect things back.
It's just the way it is. Yeah, no, you don't know how it's going to be. It might not be from them.
Exactly.
You're going to get something.
You're going to get something.
Something's coming.
Something's coming. Exactly. Yep.
Something's coming your way. But yeah, you're right. It's not about the intention of getting it back. This is what I'm telling you this in hindsight.
Right.
At the time, I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I was not a very I knew how to do rap shows and make rap songs, but I didn't know how to do any of this.
Yeah.
I just did what felt good to me. Mm-hmm. And then I was like, but the DMs came, and I made a bunch of jewelry for a bunch of really cool people, and I got to meet so many cool. I mean, those guys are all cool, but I met some really cool people that you'll never meet.
Right.
My jewelry's been in Europe, dude. It's crazy.
That's dope to think about, and know that damn, this is worldwide, But that's awesome, man. Yeah. Man,
it's heavy, dude. It's heavy. It's heavy, dude.
Yeah,
I'm telling you,
man. Yeah. It's heavy, he says. Man, what's one of your favorite pieces, or what do you like to create more? More like rings, chain, pendants, bracelets?
I like bracelets. I like riveting. I like big pieces of really quality turquoise. I like these box rings.
Okay, yeah, that one's dope. Yeah, yeah.
I like these abstract rings. I've done. Dude, I just love jewelry. Anything is fun for me.
Dope.
I'm doing some things that are just right now. I asked Millie, I say, man, what do you think? Is this kind of crazy? She's like, yep, that's perfect.
Yes, I nailed it. That's right. No, man, that's dope, man. You always stay clean though, man. That's the important thing, man.
Yeah.
Always, wherever I see you, man, you're always clean, man.
Thank you, brother.
But that's dope, man. Shit. I mean, let's talk a little bit more on, you know, I know the last podcast we got into Nipsey Hussle, and you know, I'm just not trying to go back, but I know there was some content in the last one that you know, I can't really think of what we talked about, but I know we brought up Nipsey Hussle and you know, I think some other artists, man, but yeah, man, we talked a little bit about the comedy. We talked about the jewelry. Let's dive into the music.
Okay.
Well, I guess you touched on it a little bit. Let's you know, what did you do with 800 Villains? Like, what was your role, or you know, like.
Well, I was
touch base on that.
I was a quarterback. I was a quarterback of my team, man.
That's right.
And I'm like you in a lot of ways because I feel like I don't have to, but I feel like I have to have control.
Okay, yeah.
Because that's where I feel comfort at, because I know I know that things will happen the way that my vision. And but that doesn't always happen whenever you have like a big team, because everybody's their own person. You know, you can only do so much. But with 800 Villains, man, we had Judas, Trey the Mouthpiece, Wes, who's now Wise. He's the EDM artist. Dope beat maker. When I met him, he was a punk.
He was at 800 Villains?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, he was our number one beat maker. That's immaculate. So when I met him, he was a punk drummer.
Yeah, shout out to Wise.
Had a big old mohawk like this. Oh, man.
That's crazy, man.
So I met him in Delta, and he was like, he had been making all these beats on this keyboard in the old school way where you had to go through the whole song and do all the kicks and do all the and then do and they were almost like flawless. Like there was like very minor little errors, and I was like, dude, that's like way better than anybody that I know could do. But his timing was just impeccable. Yeah. But you have to understand, like he comes from a family of really talented musicians.
Okay.
Derek Suter is a drummer for Suckerfish, and his little brother.
Gotcha.
Also a beat maker, but he's a drummer for Suckerfish, and he's also a drummer for Wave 11?
Wave 11, yep.
Wave 11.
Wave 11,
yeah.
Yeah, he's talented. He's a good drummer.
They're all talented. The whole
brothers?
Suter family, they're brothers.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah. And their sister is married to Chuck J from Wave 11.
Wow, okay.
The brother, right?
Yeah.
I interviewed him too. So that whole family is super talented. They're all just like really good people, real solid people.
Man, shout out to all those, everyone you just mentioned, man.
Right. So it was me, Judas, Trey the Mouthpiece, and Wes, Wise.
Yep.
We just spent so much time. I had this badass studio in Eckerd, Colorado, and we just did all this like badass music.
Dope.
None of it ever got released. There was a time before I met Wes when it was just me, Judas, and Trey.
Okay.
And we were with Guerrilla Records out of Arizona.
Okay.
And we had a big boss, and this is like some Illuminati shit. I don't know if you want to get into it on your podcast, but I'm telling you, that shit's real.
That's up to
you,
man.
The shit is real, bro. Like, whenever they say, all right, the level that you want to get, and we said no. We said no. We said we'll do it on our own, and you can't do it on your own without the Illuminati, with these guys, with the way that they run, the industry.
Right.
They can decide who's number one.
Right.
Based on who makes that choice.
100%, man.
It's
a money game, man. I think,
I don't want to get anybody killed out there. But
that's right.
Let me tell you, this is real.
Man, it is real, and it's
independent is the way to go.
That's right.
If you want to keep your soul, independent is the way to go.
Stay independent, and it's that's the way I look at it. I always support independent and promote independent, I should say, just because one, you own it. I mean, that's I think a good enough point to argue. It's yours. Like yes, it may be a lot harder and it may take a lot longer, but it's yours. At the end of the day, it's all yours. No one can tell you. I mean, I'm sure you're gonna have a team that will direct you a certain way, but at the end of the day, no one can tell you.
Yeah, and if you can get crafty in the way that you generate interest and generate income, the way that you generate sales, if you can get crafty with it, you can be fine.
Yeah,
you'll be fine.
Right.
Your people will feed you.
Right.
If you represent the people, those people that you represent, they will feed you. That's all you need. You don't need millions and millions of people giving you 1 cent.
Right.
Or 2 cents or 2 points or 5 points or 3.1 points or all this other your people will feed you if you do it the right way. But, you know, you have to approach it. Music is tough, man. The music game is tough.
Yeah, it's a hard industry, man. And I think a lot of people don't realize that until you get to that point where it's like, wow, this is, you know, more real than I thought.
Yeah.
You know?
It's big business.
But yeah, it's a big business. I think it's a shady business, but at the end of the day, it's music, man. Music is powerful.
Well, just like you talked about in your interview, you can do the music as a vehicle, but everything else that surrounds it, whether when it comes to merchandising and when it comes to the business aspect of it. Studio time is like, you know, you can only fit so many people in here in a 24-hour day, but with merchandising and with commercial art and looking different ways of navigating the game, using music as a magnet, and then using the merchandise and all these other aspects of it to like get the money because you can buy a CD, and you're like, all right, I could buy a CD from this guy from one time a year, but I could buy this many shirts. I can buy, and that's still another 5, 10, or it's probably more actually.
More, yeah. But
$20 for a shirt.
Yeah.
$20 for a shirt, $20 for this, $20 for that, $20 for this, $20 for that.
Yeah.
And then the music is just what drives it.
Right.
So now we're kind of like angling it into like the music is what's driving the interest, and then the merchandising, and then live shows, of course. If you can like book shows and sell tickets, you're gonna make some bread there too.
No, for sure, man. Yeah, there's definitely money to be made independently. You just gotta hustle and work and keep, you know, figure out ways of.
And if you're a hustler, ask for the door.
Ew.
Ask for the door. They get the bar, you get the door. I will pack this place full of asses. I want the door. They were like, dang, hell yeah. If you pack this place full of asses, we're going to make a bunch out the bar.
Yep.
You can have the door.
Right. Exactly. Right. Yeah.
Get the door.
Get the door. I mean, there's so many ways you can do it, but get the door. If you know you can pull the people. If you can't pull the people, don't get the door.
You gotta believe in yourself, man. You gotta believe in yourself.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, you gotta believe in yourself, and
that's what I do with all my comedy shows. I always tell them, I say, what's the capacity here?
Right.
All right, I'll fill this whole place up. Just let me have the door.
Right.
And they were like, if you fill this place up, our bar's gonna make a killing.
Our bar tab we're gonna be good.
Then you might even say, hey man, if you do good on your bar, give me a tip.
Yeah. Exactly. Yep.
Hey. They were like, hey,
you can, if you know.
We made this much money on the bar. Here's some money for you.
That's
like,
right.
Hell yeah, big
a couple
bro.
drinks or something at least, you know.
It's gonna be more than that, bro.
That's what I'm saying.
If you pack that place, it's gonna be more than that. I promise
100%, man. Yeah. Again, you gotta know how to negotiate and don't undersell yourself.
Yeah.
You know,
know your value.
Know your value.
Know your value.
That's a good way to to talk to the people and let them know. It's just like, man, don't, you know.
Yep. We just got to be about it, man. If you walk in there talking business, that we're like, this person knows what they're talking about. You know, I'm with it, and then you're gonna you put yourself in the best position. You always want to walk away from a negotiation where you both feel like you won a little bit.
Right. Right.
If you have that, then you're in good shape.
You're good. You might get another gig.
And you will get another gig.
That's right. You know. But that's dope, man. I don't know how far we're into this already, man. But you know, it's been a good conversation, man. And I appreciate you, you know, again, sponsoring and helping us out with everything, bro. Man.
Love what you do, man.
You're killing it, man. And again,
La Familia, LFMG, big bro.
LFMG. That's right, man. But before, you know, I ask you the famous question, is there anything that you want to promote or anything that you're doing that you want to, you know, tell the people about, or maybe a sneak peek of something or anything?
I would like people to go visit boompresents.net and just navigate and see what you see and just learn more about like what I'm doing. And that would make me happy. Okay. You know? Just go to boompresents.net. If you click on a video, you watch it, you can subscribe to my Boom Presents channel on YouTube. That's where all my interviews are. This dude does great interviews. Got to come check out me interviewing him.
That's right.
Flip the script a little bit. And then all the other artists that we're interviewing. And I'm sure you're going to bring in some of those guys in here and some of those people in here. And, you know, because this is Western Colorado, baby.
Yeah,
it's Western Colorado, man.
That's right. No, there's definitely a lot of talent out here. And, yeah, there's a lot of people I still have yet to bring in here. I mean, we're talking a lot of people.
Right.
But again, you know, we ran into some difficulties. You know, we can get into it, or, you know, if some of you may already know about the audio difficulties that we had, just audio getting corrupt and all that stuff. We lost about 6 episodes.
Damn, dude,
so
6? You guys
episodes.
lost 6?
Well, the funny thing is that I was holding off because I already had some backed up. So I was like, oh man, I'm busy with work. Like I got some backed up, so like to release, and then all of a sudden the audio, we used it for something, or something happened within the process that when I went to go
get the
audio, it was all corrupt files. Like there was no audio we can use. And then actually, I'm glad we're talking about it, because I was gonna release it with just the, you know, audio from our phones that I'm recording in, you know. But Benny Boom actually talked me out of it, and I'm glad you did, because, and you know, you said, you know, because I brought it up to you, and I felt so bad, because it was just like, man, we shot such a dope episode, and it's gone. Well,
right.
Not necessarily gone, but it's like, it's not what I want it to be.
Yeah.
And Benny Boom was like, he really made me feel good about it, and was like, man, don't worry about it, man. You represent quality, you know, let's redo it again. And, you know, that was pretty much the feedback we got from the other 6 people that we lost. It's like, they completely understood, and that's dope, you know, that they understood that things happen, you know, and we lose. But, man, I appreciate you for just guiding me in that path, because I was honestly about to release him because I felt that bad, you know. But it was like, no, after you told me, no, man, you represent quality, like you gotta have that good quality, and you know, here we are.
I'm glad you went through with it, because it's important, man. It's dude, we'll always come back. We'll come back. We'll do another one. We could always redo it. You know what I mean? And
right.
I think this interview was probably better than the last one.
I mean, this was a pretty solid one as well, man.
Yeah.
You know, it's always a good conversation when I got Benny Boom.
Yeah, big bro. Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's right. That's what I'm talking about.
Get the coasters.
Boompercents.net.
Yeah.
And before I let you go, my guy, I got one question for you. What's dope in the slope?
Man, there's so much. I was up at 3 o'clock in the morning last night, dude. I was like, what is dope in the slope? There's so much. And I can shout out like all these businesses, and, you know, I shout out so many I can, but I got to tell you guys one thing that is like dope to me. And it's one thing that I do every year on my birthday is I go on at courthouse hike. Don't get nervous, homies. It's not like a real courthouse.
Shit, that's right.
But courthouse hike, you go in towards Ridgeway, and you take the road left right before Ridgeway. What's it called? County Road 10, Elk Creek. Just look it up. Courthouse hike on your phone. If you want to see the dopest hike and see the dopest, oh, dude. I'm going to send you some pictures, and whenever I'm talking about this, you put pictures on there.
Okay, yeah. I'll put
them and then put them on there so they can see where they can go. It's only like a mile, like 2 miles up, and you can go all the way to the tippy top if you're like not scared of heights. And I'm scared of heights, dude, but I went to the tippy top. Dude, you could see it. You just feel so insignificant. You feel like you're just like this little thing in this huge world, and it's just like this. It just makes you realize, like, yo, like,
puts it in perspective.
I ain't shit, man.
Yeah.
I ain't shit. And I love feeling like I ain't shit, because I'm the shit. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Sometimes I need to be reminded, you know,
Hey,
God would be like, dude.
Actually, maybe I'm not.
I ain't shit. I ain't shit.
No, that's cool, though. I like going to places like that because it really does put it in perspective, like, man. Like,
dude, and I saw kids. I saw these. This couple up there. They're like some dreadlock couples, and they had these like 2 little kids, and they're like went all the way to the very tippy top. And I was like, it was because every year I go a little higher, but the last 2 years I went to the tippy top.
Okay.
And after I saw those 2 kids all skipping and going to the tippy top, I was like, dang, man, I'm a pussy. I need to go to the tippy top next year. And I did. And I've been going to the tippy top every year.
Pussy.
Yeah. So you got to go to the tippy top. They have even a thing that you can sign, and you can sign it.
Oh, wow.
The people like, to the top. Yeah, there's like this, like
Everest.
Oh, dude,
make it to the top. You get something.
Dude, I'm telling you, man. Take a camera, take your phone, make sure that you're, you know, enjoying yourself up there.
Okay.
Around July 14th, which is my birthday. That's the
That's
greatest
right.
time to be up there.
That's
You
right.
see the best sunsets. I wouldn't recommend a sunset because coming down,
Gonna be.
you don't want to be doing it in the dark. I did it this year. We came down in the dark, but luckily we had our phones, dude, or else we would have been lost.
I was gonna say, man, that's.
But the trail is very well put together.
The
It's a
animals,
good
too.
trail. It's solid. Yeah, you don't want to get eaten by a bear or a mountain lion.
Mountain lion.
But
Yeah, none of that.
courthouse hike. That is what's dope in the slope. If we're not going to the Cimarrons, south of Montrose, right before you get to Ridgeway, take that left road on County Road 10 and 8. Oh God, I wish I remember what number it was. But you Google it,
Yeah,
and do it. And when you see the pictures, you're like, I gotta go.
Right.
I even saw old ladies going up there, dude. So don't think you got to be like, it's only 2 miles.
That's right.
It's only 2 miles.
Yeah. Up a hill.
It's up. You just breathe, take your time.
Yeah, take your time. Take it easy. Take some lunch, you know?
I know you guys are seeing these pictures right now, and you guys are like, dang, I need to do that. I live here this whole time. I haven't done that. I'm a pussy.
Pussy. That's right. No, man.
I like how you had that pink button as the pussy button.
Well, it's just, it's
Yeah,
the
right.
easiest
You
way
already had
to,
that planned out.
you know, it's the easiest way
All
to
right,
just
kids.
make it
All right,
work,
kids. I only said 3 bad words, and they were both shit.
That's right. And
Pussy. Oh, yeah.
That's right. Oh, man. But thank you so much, man. I appreciate your time, man. I appreciate everything you do for the community. And, man, you're a legend, man, in the Western Slope.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
And beyond, man.
Thank you.
So all love, man. Everyone have a good night or day.
A mi jefa le agradezco todo, Dios cuida a mis niños, yes sir. I'm coming for everything that I deserve. If you slow me down, I'm switching lanes, don't mind if I swerve. Cause this is LFMG, baby, started this from the dirt. Giving back to the people, something they can preserve. You heard? I'm trying to paint a better picture for the youth. I go by EQ, spitting nothing but the truth. We highly motivated, hope that we inspire you.